Hello everyone! Welcome back! In this video, we're going to see how to integrate ReplyRush with Zapier and automatically send the data coming from ReplyRush to other applications. Zapier has 9,000 plus apps available, so you can connect ReplyRush with different tools according to your business requirements. In this tutorial, we'll use Google Sheets only as an example. We'll go through the complete integration process, test the workflow, and see the final result. So, let's get started. First, open Zapier. On the left side, you'll see Assets. Click on Assets. Now click on Folders. Here, we'll create a separate folder for our ReplyRush automation. Click on Create in the top right corner. Select New Folder. Now give your folder a name. You can use any name according to your business or project. Once you've entered the name, click Save. Our folder has now been created successfully. Open the folder. Now we'll create our Zap inside this folder. Click on Create. Select Zap. Now the Zap editor will open. Inside the Zap editor, you'll see two main steps: Trigger and Action. The trigger decides when the automation should start, and the action decides what should happen after the trigger. In our example, ReplyRush will be the trigger, and Google Sheets will be the action. So let's set up the trigger first. Click on Trigger. In the App Search field, type ReplyRush. Select ReplyRush from the results. If you don't see it immediately, simply search for ReplyRush. Now ReplyRush has been selected as our trigger app. Click on Trigger Event. Here, you'll see the different events available from ReplyRush. For example, lead from completed new comment on post new DM received. For this tutorial, we'll use lead form completed as our example. If you're using ReplyRush's lead generation feature, this integration can be especially useful because the information collected through your lead flow can automatically be sent to the application you choose. Once this event occurs in ReplyRush, our Zap will automatically be triggered. Now connect your ReplyRush account. Select your connected ReplyRush account. Once the account is connected, we can move to the next step. Now our ReplyRush trigger setup is complete. Let's test it. Click on Test. Zapier will now retrieve sample data from ReplyRush. Once the sample data appears, we can confirm that the ReplyRush connection is working correctly. Now let's set up the action. Click on the Action step. Here, Zapier will ask us to select an application. For this example, we'll select Google Sheets. Before we continue, there's one important thing to understand. As you can see, Google Sheets is just one option. Zapier has 9,000 plus apps available, which means you can connect ReplyRush with many different applications according to your workflow. For example, you can connect it with Gmail, HubSpot, Salesforce, Google Drive, and many other business tools. So this integration is not limited to Google Sheets. We're using Google Sheets in this tutorial simply as an example to show you how the integration works. Now let's continue with our Google Sheets example. Before setting up the action, let's prepare our Google Sheet. Open Google Sheets and create or select the spreadsheet where you want to receive your ReplyRush data. Give the spreadsheet a name that makes it easy to identify. Now create the columns for the information you want to collect. For this example, I'm using username, email, contact number, birth date, and platform. We're also keeping the platform field because it helps us identify whether the message or user came from Instagram or Facebook. You can create different columns according to the information you want to receive from ReplyRush. Once your sheet is ready, come back to Zapier. Now select Google Sheets as the Action app. For the action event, choose the action according to your requirement. In our example, we'll use Create Spreadsheet Row. This means that whenever our ReplyRush trigger occurs, Zapier can automatically create a new row in our Google Sheet. Now connect your Google account. If your account is already connected, simply select it. Otherwise, click on Connect a New Account and complete the connection. Under Drive, select My Google Drive. Now select the Google Sheet that we prepared earlier. Choose your spreadsheet from the Spreadsheet field. Next, select the worksheet. Choose the worksheet where you want the ReplyRush data to be added. Now you'll see the fields from the Google Sheet we created. These are the fields that we prepared earlier, such as username, email, contact number, birth date, and platform. Now we need to connect each Google Sheet field with the corresponding data coming from ReplyRush. Click on each field and select the relevant ReplyRush data. Once all the required fields are mapped, we're ready to test the action. Before testing, let's quickly check our mapping. Make sure every Google Sheet field has the correct ReplyRush data selected. Once everything looks correct, click Continue. Now click on Test Step. Zapier will send the sample data from ReplyRush to Google Sheets. If the test is successful, you'll see that a new row has been created in your spreadsheet. This confirms that our ReplyRush to Google Sheets action is working correctly. Now both our trigger and action have been successfully tested. We're ready to make the automation live. Click on Publish. Our Zap is now successfully published and live. From now on, whenever the selected trigger event happens in ReplyRush, Zapier will automatically run the configured action. Now let's go back to ReplyRush. Open the lead generation feature. If you already have a lead generation flow, you can use the existing one. If you don't have one yet, create a new lead generation flow. Give your lead form a name. Add the messages and fields you want to collect, and save it. This will create your lead form. If you want to learn the complete lead generation setup in detail, you can watch the separate lead generation tutorial available on the ReplyRush channel. Now go to the Posts and Reels section. Select the post where you want to attach your lead generation flow. Open the configuration and select the required trigger type. Then, under the Message section, go to Lead Generation. Select the lead form we created earlier and save the configuration. Now our ReplyRush side is ready for testing. Now let's test the complete automation with a real user. I'll use my mobile and send a message from Instagram as a user. Once the conversation starts, ReplyRush will guide the user through the configured lead generation flow. The user will provide the required information, and once the process is completed, ReplyRush will trigger our Zap. Now let's go back to Google Sheets. As you can see, the information submitted by the user has automatically been added as a new row. The username, email, contact number, birth date, and platform are now available in their respective columns. The platform field also helps us identify whether the interaction came from Instagram or Facebook. And the best part is that we didn't have to manually copy and paste this information into the spreadsheet. So this is how you can integrate ReplyRush with Zapier and automate your workflow. In this tutorial, we used Google Sheets as an example, but you're not limited to Google Sheets. With 9,000 plus apps available in Zapier, you can connect ReplyRush with tools like Gmail, HubSpot, Salesforce, Google Drive, and many other applications according to your requirements. Once the integration is set up, ReplyRush can trigger the workflow, and Zapier can automatically perform the action you configure. That's it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching,